Why, hello. I'm taking over this stream because J-Lo is on the phone and I'm starting the stream. So I said, fuck it, I'm starting it. First person to come in here, I'm going to give you, and say something, I'm going to give you a pack of seeds. Who is the first person? No one. 2 people. First person. Tell me the first person types something, you get a pack of seeds. Just waiting on that first comment. The lucky winner. Nobody? I'm waiting. Oh, Peter. Peter likes seeds. Peter wins. All right, I hijacked J-Lo's channel for the moment, and I'm giving away seeds. All right, Peter, you're the winner. Send me an email. I know you. I think I know you, Peter. Maybe I don't. But send me an email at jason@darkhorsegenetics.com, and I'll send you a free pack of seeds. I don't know what they're going to be yet because I got to go through my collection, but I'll grab you a pack, and I'll send you one. How about that? Winner. But yeah, I'm chilling. I'm chilling waiting for J-Lo, so I'm going to smoke some weed and talk to the chat. Congratulations, Peter. Congratulations. There should be like a, I don't know, here's a sound effect for you, Peter. This one's for Peter specifically. Put on some tunes. Just waiting on J-Lo. Story of my life. Someday soon, J-Lo will get off her phone call. She'll come in here, start a show for you. Sure, she has plenty to say. If you're wondering why I'm here, it's because I hijacked the channel.
I'm just being myself, cool as can be.
Smoking on Purple Starburst. What up, Daniel Paulson? Is that your real name, Daniel Paulson? No offense if it is. But isn't that the Fight Club shit? His name was Daniel Paulson. His name was Daniel Paulson. Am I tripping? Smoke Sensi. What is up? Alright, as we wait for J-Lo. Peter, you're disqualified. I'll give away another pack of seeds to the next person to write Dark Horse Genetics in the chat. Just write Dark Horse Genetics and I'll send you some free seeds. First person. 6 of you right now. Robert Polson, not Daniel Polson. You're right. I apologize for getting it wrong. Your name conjured up moments of Fight Club to me. Oh. 6 people. There you go, Joy. I was waiting. Who wants to claim them? Joy claims it. I don't know what the pack will be, Joy. Just send me an email to jason@darkhorsegenetics.com and say treat show winner, and I will hook you up. I'm not sure what it'll be. Probably like a soul stone or a reality stone, regular seed pack, but happy to hook you up. Can you hear J-Lo? I can hear her on speakerphone. She's coming. J-Lo's getting closer, which means the start of your show is getting closer, folks. But yeah, anybody has any questions, chilling, ask me whatever you want to ask me, because I stole the whole studio until she walks in the room, and then she can take it back. We'll see. I assume she was going to do a show. Maybe I'm like jumped the whole gun. Either way, you got a show with me right now. Like, who the fuck are you? Why are you on here? And where's J-Lo? You're not nearly as attractive as J-Lo. I know. Trust me, I get it. I get it. You just tell me what I can do for you. What stories I can tell you. I have cannabis stories for days. I probably don't have half the fucking knowledge that J-Lo has in her fingertip. I don't have this knowledge in my fingertip that J-Lo has, But yeah, I can tell you stuff. I can be a consultant. What do you need to know? Oh shit, camera went out. My fucking face is so fucking ugly. It broke the camera. You push buttons and do stuff. Bam. Spang. Spam. I am decent at a computer though, I'll tell you that much, so I can fix shit.
Are you talking about your hot and sexy face?
J-Lo is off the phone. So we can start this show, I think. So you guys know. But yeah, congratulations to Joy and congratulations to Peter. And hit me up. I'll hook you guys up. 710 71 DP 0 710 DP over here at work with the headphones in. Get work done. Do work, son.
Do you want to sit with me and review some of these things?
Oh God, last thing I want to do is a podcast right now, but I will sit for 5 minutes.
That sounds great.
I don't think I want to hook up cameras or nothing.
All right.
I was just starting it up. I was warming your seat up.
Well, good. You can hold that thought 1 second.
See, J-Lo's not prepared. Shocker. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this show topic is today. I don't know what's going on. I was told to come in here and set up a studio, and for some reason I pushed play, and here we are, all of us together, waiting on J-Lo. This is the story of my life. Every date I've ever been on starts with this. I'm ready. So then I pack a bowl, and then I sit, and then I smoke. You know what I mean? Jason hijacked the show. I definitely did. What up, Gearhart? Anything you guys want to talk about before she shows up, just spit it out. I'm an open book of nonsense. Cody Rose, what is up?
Okay.
I'll tell you why Jayla hasn't done the show consistently every single week. Because we have been the busiest motherfuckers that have ever existed of all time. And honestly, I think it's been like 40 days straight without any kind of fucking day that wasn't 16 hours long and maybe 3-4 hours sleep. So you compound those together and you just become a walking zombie. And it's hard to be yourself. But yeah, I think actually it's not even true. I was gonna say I think it's calming down or settling down a little bit, but it's probably not. We're still getting ramped up on all of this shit. There's still a mountain of to-do lists to do. But yeah, I don't know. That's why if you're missing J-Lo, so am I. I barely see her. I'm fucking working her ass off. J-Lo blunt rapper of choice. I can answer this. Well, I can. You guys ask me the questions you want to know about J-Lo, and I will answer them for you. J-Lo's blunt rapper of choice probably is going to be a backwoods if she's in a bougie mood. Like, she'll go backwoods on it, and usually a banana of some sort. But the daily driver, like the daily fucking blunt, is definitely going to be a swisher because it rolls smaller and it holds less weed and it's faster to smoke, even though her blunts take like 45 minutes of smoke break. But then I'll go with the swishers, and when I'm sent to the gas station every 25 minutes to go get a new one, it's usually the silver pack, which I don't even know what that is, or the white pack, or the banana smash, which is highly, like, that's always in favor. Banana smash is there. There is one that I can't stand, which is like wild mixed fruit or wild bear. It's red. And if you get the red one, it smells like ass. And yeah, some reason. But sometimes you just take what you can get. Are you going fishing at Dick's? I'm not, Joffrey. Because I don't really like fish, to be honest. I don't really get it. The only thing I like about fish is that the dude that plays the drums, that wears like the polka dot dress thingy, he comes out and plays a vacuum cleaner. And the vacuum cleaner was an Electrolux vacuum cleaner. It's like an old classic model. It's like from the 50s. It has like skis instead of wheels. But that vacuum cleaner is an Electrolux, and my dad was an Electrolux vacuum cleaner salesman door to door for years. So I always thought fish was cool for using an Electrolux vacuum cleaner on stage as a musical instrument. But other than that, I think it's the most obnoxious fucking music I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. And I like jam bands. So I just can't do the drugs that's needed to enjoy a Fish show. And I'm probably insulting a large swath of people here, but the people that love Fish, I'm like, they're like that. They're just different kind of people. They're a different kind of people. They've done lots of psychedelics, and I'm not sure they live in this reality. And yeah, I don't know. I know a Wook. I know a traveling fucking roadie type. I know a fucking bluegrass lover, a fucking jam band lover, a widespread, a string chain, a yonder, a fucking. I know them all. Even fucking Dead. Even fucking Phil. Phil Lott. Phil Lott used to be the sketchiest lot that there ever was, but I'm pretty sure it's Fish now. Fish has easily become the sketchiest lot that you can go to. And if you don't know what I'm talking about a lot, I mean parking lot, and that's where Shakedown Street is, and that's where all the drugs are sold. And yeah, like the best ones used to be like String Cheese or Widespread. They're the best Shakedown Street that you could possibly have. It was sick. Grilled cheeses for days, glass pipes, all the drugs you could ever imagine, everyone working deals, Wooks galore. Like it was cool. But then you go to Phil, and like at Red Rocks or whatever, and all your windows would be smashed in or whatever because you went to the concert and came back out and like you were selling eights earlier of weed, and all of a sudden your whole entire car's been ransacked and smashed, and like the people were trash. But I feel like now that's Fish lot. So if you love Fish, you probably like Nitrous and Hippie Crack, which is nitrous, and you probably, I don't know. Anything could be a good time. I'm not talking shit. I love all music, but that one's a tough one for me. All right. You guys want J-Lo's show? Let's start J-Lo's show. No one wants to hear me talk shit about Fish. All right, I'm going to start her show. Official. Hopefully she gets in here in time because I've already started it. But the hijack is over.
Wait, I want to
No.
Episode 64.
Episode 64. Ho. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Tree Show, episode 64. Okay, can you see on the screen? It's so fuzzy. It's so fuzzy. Oh. Who's got these dogs in here? He's just kidding. Too many of them. Okay, look how cute these are. Oh, thank you. Ta-da. Isn't this amazing? Jason got this for me. He said I could make any wish I wanted. I need $500,000 for a remodel. This is also one of my favorite pieces that we've been doing some unpacking and things, and I just really wanted to show this magical piece here too. Okay, wait. You just appreciate that, okay? I was trying to get Jason to try these really quick. Do you want to try these really quick?
What is it?
There's, Oleo's passion fruit, traditional rosin gummies.
No.
Just try one.
I don't want a gummy. What's wrong with this thing? I don't want to. Well, it sounds shitty, huh?
Oh, it does.
Why does this
It's
sound
that
so
cord.
shit?
Oh, there you are.
Cord. Something's wrong.
There you are. Don't touch it. You really aren't going to try it? You're
Technical.
just going to be...
I will. Yeah,
You're going to try
oh,
it.
Sorry. There we go. I will try. It's still not working.
Oh.
I give the fuck up. I would try that live rosin cart thing, whatever the fuck you have, but
I
I
can't-
do not want to eat that gummy.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jason, for not trying this.
I will try a gummy at some other time.
Okay, so you want to try the Harmony extracts?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All
Why
right.
does it look so shit?
Well, there we... okay.
Because it's green.
Because it's green. It's a lot of colors, but more green, I guess, than anything.
You're like extra zoomed in tonight.
Yeah, why is it? Gosh,
I'm gonna unzoom you.
you can see my flaws.
It's no flaws.
That was nice. Okay, what can you read what this package says?
Creme de la Creme, total THC 74%, rechargeable all-in-one live rosin sauce, 500 milligram.
I'm pumped.
So yeah, rainbow velvet is what live rosin sauce creme de la creme all-in-one rainbow velvet. So why do they have two different names on the name?
I've been getting confused with some of these like hash things, particularly that I've been reading lately. Like one package said 120 microns or 90 and 120 microns, which usually, it's like 90 or 120 microns. But I was like, huh.
I can't fucking open this because
Do you want me to open it for you?
It's child-proof and me-proof.
I'll try it. I was really having it. They really are doing good at this stuff lately. Got it. Okay. I just want you to get the full. Do you want to switch with me really fast?
Okay.
It looks cute.
Show what's in the package.
Okay. Dun 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 dun. Can you see it? Yep, kind of. Well, we know what this guy is, but
Have you ever seen a charging cord?
this is. I feel like, dang. Can I like? Nothing. Okay, I think this is pretty cool looking. You gotta try it first.
Try to fix your green screen, but I can't.
Can you? Okay.
I just can't. All right,
Let me take
try
this out for you. There you go.
it. Just pull it.
You just pull it.
God, this sounds so bad. I gotta mute this mic. Better. It's better.
I guess it's better now that we can't hear you. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hear that every day of my life.
Anyways, I feel like you guys know. I don't know if you watched the Harmony episode that I did with myself. It's great. But Jeremy was on the Adam Dunn show not that long ago, and he's the head extractor for Harmony Extracts. And when I was working with them, I was running a couple of their facilities, and they have some of the most bomb genetics I've ever seen. Great.
I can't get it to work.
Advertising is our specialty.
Is there a button? It doesn't fucking hit.
Is it not charged? Let's check this.
Maybe
It's supposed
it
to be
comes
ready.
uncharged.
It's supposed to be ready. Doesn't it say all in one ready? Ready to go?
What? You gotta hit. No, you didn't get shit. It's not working. Rechargeable all in one.
I'm going to be so
Plug
sad.
it. I have the USB right here. Plug the fucking
Can you do it? Can you plug it? Okay, let's give him a chance.
Bullshit.
I don't like my reliable ass blunt though. You want to hit this?
No.
I like that Jason did get my blunts preferences right. Except for I left that company at a place today is these little blunts. Did I show you these like fancy? They're actually fancy. Blunts that are real blunts. I guess they're not hemp wraps. Maybe I'm messing this all up, but it's a company that's supposed to be cooler. Oh, it's lighting now. I think that's a good sign. Can you guys see that? Nope. Of course you can't. If you really close your eyes and zoom in, I think, yeah, you do it for me. You be my arms. Anyways, forget it. Just forget about it. I don't remember what it was. Tark, what the heck is up? Peter, I'm about to plant some Turkish tobacco. Really? Peter, you grow the coolest stuff. Like, I think that we need to send you something for your Turkish tobacco plant. I'm already envisioning some jewelry. You're still reading it?
No instructions.
No instructions. Okay. Well, Jason's having some technical difficulty. I think it needs longer than like, oh, you got it. It's just dead. Well, Jason's making it happen. Can you? Why don't you just come sit over here for a second? Show everybody. He's choking. He can't breathe. Talking all this shit. Just kidding. I feel like. What do you?
It's pretty good.
You approve? Would you like to hit my blunt? You can hit it on the charger.
I don't know.
I'm gonna do it.
You gotta take it off.
Okay. I'm not gonna do it. I'm kind of scared. Hold on. No. It's happening.
Got her. She's turning all red and watery eyed.
It's so there.
It's not exactly tasting good. Because it fucks you up.
I have it all hot flash. I feel like, I don't know. What do you think it tastes like? It's hard to pull.
Yeah. Probably needs more charge.
More charge. It tastes like ash. It just tastes really ashy. Do you think it tastes like a specific flavor or strain? I don't think so either.
Kind of chemi.
Chemi. Chem de la chemi?
That's what it is, yeah, actually.
Well, that's good. What in the... Got it. Got it. Well, I'm so glad that we could do a review of that product so gracefully. Anyways, you guys should check out Harmony Extracts for reals.
B.
What did you say?
B.
A B? That's a...
B. Not a B minus, not a B plus, just a B.
Just a B.
It's an 85.
Well, 85. I feel like
5 out of 100.
85 out of 100. You can't win them all. I feel like with an A. Who is your A plus cart right now?
Dab Logic.
Dab Logic. What strain?
Something papaya.
Something papaya.
They have, like,
Yeah, because you got that onion, you got garlic onion cookies or something like that before. Garlic knot. That's what it was. It's not my favorite flavor of a terpene. But Jason's been chiefing on the Dab Logic cart. Like, you've been going hard, I think. That pen specifically, if you guys can get a hold of a Dab Logic pen, I will say that I think it hits the best out of even like some of the other high end. It's a half gram. Jason's convinced that it's the key. The half gram over the gram. Just as far as like flavor. Really keeping it fresh. It reminds me, Jason's stuck up when he smokes bowls. He's like super snooty. He doesn't even share them either. He like takes 2 hits, basically, maybe 2.5 if he's living on the edge. And then it's a cached situation. So I don't know. I think that. Are you doing it?
Work better? No.
I think it works better if you just.
It's like, I don't know. It's still shit.
Why don't you go to that one? It's calling your name. I think you're being. Yep. You move just all my stuff right there. Anyways, I think that cart particularly hits the best though. If you like really are like a hash person,
Does this work?
I think that works.
Yeah, better. Okay.
What do you
But
think, Tark?
Here's the deal. Here's my 2 cents. Not that anyone really asked for it. These carts, and we've tried like a fuck ton of them. Like, the non-solvent is the only ones that taste fucking good. I don't care what anyone says. Non-solvent is the only way that they taste good. And they have to be in a half gram or less like size, because some of these guys are now making like 4 gram carts, but even the 710 guys who are high end carts are making 1 gram carts. And the first half gram or the first half of your cart tastes fucking pretty good, but the second half tastes like shit, or you have trouble getting hits out of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people are trying to make bigger carts now, and every time I have a bigger cart, I either have trouble with it or it tastes like shit at the bottom half of the cart. Whereas every half gram cart that I've ever gotten tastes better all the way to the end. Like, it doesn't fuck up to the end.
It's
So,
like consistent all the way through and through.
and I'm sure people know this, or most people know this, but like the difference is also like people with distillate carts and, like I say, like non-solvent carts, like basically rosin carts,
Yeah.
is like kind of night and day. But it seems like the carts that are like 4 grams or 5 grams, or some people that are like loading up huge, massive carts, that
Yeah.
are like trying to make a value cart that's like $60-$70 for like a 4 or 5 gram cart, which sounds good, but that's almost always a distillation cart or disty cart with
Yeah.
fake 6 carts on the road. They're all half grammers or whatever the fuck. It's like I could take 1 cart with me and it's gonna be like 4 grams worth of hash,
You're right.
and it's gonna get me high, but at the same time, if I'm being totally honest, like it gives me a headache a lot of times, or like not what I don't I call them like not clean carts, but even though distillate's obviously like a clean product, but it's like anything that's not non-solvent almost always like gives me a headache in some way. And I think it has to do with the artificial terpenes or the way that they're cutting it, like some cutting agent, like a glycerin type agent or something like that. But the non-solvent carts, they'll, if you do it properly, and it's only certain strains that are able to do it, but if you do it properly, they'll burn without having to add or cut with anything. And that's why I like Dab Logic, is because they don't cut their cart. It's just a non-solvent, but they can only do it with a handful of strains that actually break down in a sauce type way that can be utilized in a cart. So that's kind of my thoughts on it, though. But it's like the bigger your cart, the shittier it's going to taste, and the more likely it's like a distillate thing. But I don't know if the rest of the world is buying 4 gram carts or if everyone's still on the half gram cart thing.
I think it's cool that you're talking about the half gram cart thing while people are increasing the sizes, because like I definitely agree with you after trying them halfway through. Sometimes even before that, honestly, is like it's just weird. After Jason like brought it to my attention, now I can taste it like so much, and it's so bold now. It's just not like a weed. I don't know, just not like a weed taste. It's not like a.
The other thing we could talk about real fast is weed, and the fact that we got a sample from somebody. I don't necessarily want to say who because I don't really like it. But we got a sample, and not even necessarily a sample, but like we got some flour from somebody local here, and they use New Millennium nutrient. We could tell because when we like the flour looks banging, like it really has like a visual like 10. It's like a 10 plus for a visual. It's like, wow, this is banging. Like trikes are popping. Like this looks like some of that salt grown weed that's like really, really nice or whatever, like visually.
Beautiful, yeah.
But then when I hit it, I was like, I get this overwhelming terp. I'm lacking on the name of it right now, but the terp is like Downy fabric sheet softener. It's like the dryer sheets from Downy.
Ooh.
Like I get like a dryer sheet, like complete on every strain. On the exhale, all I taste is dryer sheet, and I'm like, it's across the board New Millennium. Like I guess I'm bashing New Millennium on this with this or whatever, but it's across the board New Millennium, and it's kind of funny to me because like this very popular brand that is very well known and does really well, and we grabbed some for the shop, and I was like, dude, all I taste is dryer sheets. Like all I taste is dryer sheets, and it's not just from this one time. We've tried 3 different batches of different companies that have told me they use New Millennium, and all I ever taste is dryer sheets. I think it's like linalool or something like that is the actual terp, but I don't know what is going on there.
That's
but
interesting.
I thought I'd bring it up. Maybe you have an opinion on it, but it's like, why does New Millennium weed taste fucking exactly the same and like dryer sheets?
I feel like the active ingredient we were looking at the other day, I think it's molybdenum. Yeah. You guys, you correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but I feel I'm really bad at
no idea.
talking. But I feel you should take this down and let me put you on the camera really fast. You want to be incognito?
It's gonna fuck everything. I have to go find cameras, plug shit in.
Well, but I think that the active ingredient, you would think it's so low. I can't remember the actual percentage off the top of my head, but it's just like a diluted pre-bottle nutrients additive, right? But it's weird to me that they're using that with salts, like with like Athena and some of these other ones specifically. The reason that I would particularly use salts is because you were avoiding using a lot of additives. I know that that's part of everybody's system of like what your little things are to preference, but that's just one to me that is in the recent years, like you said, that I've never really seen before this.
Have you ever grown with New Millennium?
I have, and I grew with it right when they were releasing that product, when I was working a little bit more closely with Athena and Lux, and Power Psi and New Millennium were really popular at the time, and I feel like I gave it probably like a 6 month shot, like genuine, like probably the bottles. Honestly, I probably used the bottle.
I don't know how complex their line is and how many additives they have and everything, but I think it's just a grow, bloom, and micro.
Yeah, and it's super simple. I think it's like 10 mils per gallon or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, follow the bottle, but I think that it's just like a really simple. But it's in even the weeks. I can't remember the cutoff times. I didn't use it obviously long enough, but it's because I didn't see. I didn't see, like, if you're growing with a proper salt line, truly, or any proper nutrients line for that matter, or medium, or however you want to look at this, like, your cannabis plants should be pulling this, like, beautiful aesthetic look because they're getting everything that they need and they're not having, like, they're not being compromised, right, in any of these ways. But I think that when you're starting to add things like that, or basically, I don't think New Millennium should come on your show because you're cooler, is I feel like they don't, it's such a diluted down product is what they say according to the bottle, and that active ingredient doesn't make sense to me as really anything that should be altering the plant. But then when you say that though, is I definitely do feel like my weed tasted different the first time that I harvested there, and I didn't know how to like define that
They
flavor.
could have changed their formula too. We've seen that many times or whatever, or it may have been something different when you started with it and it's transitioned to this, or it may have been a production batch error that's actually such a large batch that is making the last 4 years of weed like taste this way or something. But at the same time, I don't know because shit, anybody that actually grows New Millennium out there, like in the chat, let us know or let me know. I guess if you know
Yeah, if you
what I'm
like
talking
it.
about or why you like it or what's. I'm not even really talking shit on it because it grows fantastic flower. It looks great, but I keep getting the same kind of terp, like on across multiple strains that should have different terp when I harvest them over the years. I know how these are supposed to taste, and like all of a sudden, I'm getting the same taste. But I will say the same thing happened many years ago when I grew with. Advanced Nutrients,
Yeah.
2 pounds of light program, whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah,
And
basically like 3 alike.
like we
2.0.
crushed, I crushed the room, and I had absolutely gorgeous flowers, and it was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. But then I tried to smoke 12 different strains, and they were like identical, same sort of tasteless, terpless, cardboardish kind of like. I don't even know about cardboard. Literally just tasteless. Like it had no flavor at all whatsoever. And I was like, why? Like, what is going on with this? But only a specific few nutrient lines have dramatically affected multiple strains when I've grown them. Normally, like strains will show different expressions a little bit when you change nut lines and stuff like that, but you won't get across the board where it's just like uniform, like all of these taste identical.
I think that molybdenum honestly might be combining, like, again, depending on what microbes or what beneficials or what system you're actually growing with, is they might not be flushing their plants. Like, in theory, you shouldn't have any residuals of anything you're growing with by the time that you're smoking
I mean,
it.
that could be it too, literally, is that people that use New Millennium, those that don't flush, I get this flavor out of
Like,
it.
yeah.
And those that do flush, like, I don't have that experience. But I look over here, it says Tark runs it. He's run it for 4 to 5 years, and loves it and works good with his schedule. So, and that's what I was saying. I'm kind of just curious, like, is everyone getting this, or is this something that it's like, is this just me? I'm like looking around, I'm like, is this just me? And maybe it is just me.
Well, I don't know. I smoke that weed, and I feel there is like okay, there's a signature I'd say to any grower. What do you think about this? Like, anybody that grows, period, and it's like running their little system or their tech or whatever, is, I think, even regardless, even if actually you're running somebody else's line or following it, is everybody kind of has a flavor or like something consistent throughout their bud though. Like, obviously all these parts are key components, but
Yeah, everything changes with the grower a little bit. Like, obviously, the environment. I give you a clone, it's going to come out different than if I grow it a little bit. That's kind of the whole thing with cannabis and environments, and trying to basically have pot be the same across, and it never fucking is.
yes.
But the thing that taught me the most about nutrients changing the way that your cannabis tastes, whatever brand you choose to use, is I used to grow the Foco Sage forever growing up, and I used to grow it always in Sunshine 4 with Age Old. And every time that it came out, it smelled like armpits, like in the best way. Like, you know how funky, nasty, rotten kind of like
Like
shit
the
sometimes
concerts?
smells good though,
You were talking about
or good in weed. You're like, oh, this is like, but it literally smelled like an armpit. It was like gross. But the weed was fantastic.
Okay.
But and that's I remember buying this for years off my guy for like when I grew it because he taught me how to grow in the same kind of way, age old and sunshine.
Yeah.
When I grew it, it was the same.
Right.
But then at one point, I decided to switch and put it into the moonshine mix, which is all the ocean
love the
forest, which
moonshine.
is Scott's fucking mix or whatever. But I ran it moonshine mix, all organic with nothing but water.
Dang.
And when it came out, it was like fruity as
Ooh.
fuck. And I was like, holy shit, like this completely changed the terp profile of this cannabis, of a clone that I've been running for years. And by switching the way that I cultivated it, both organic, but from one, basically age old and sunshine to a super soil, like with back guanos and castings and a bunch of other things,
Yeah.
it dramatically changed the way it tasted. And I preferred it like an armpit, honestly. And I grew it both ways many times, but I remember bringing it back to my guy too, and I showed to him, he's like, wait, this is the same weed? I'm like, this is the same weed. Like, I didn't mix up my cuts.
Yeah.
Like,
This is for
the
sure.
same weed. So there's absolutely something to the nutrients, like, in what they do to the strains. Like, what regimen you use can absolutely change the way your flower tastes.
I think that's like so important and not talked about enough is like if you're growing with this soil in comparison to a medium like rock wool, is there's so much of a buffer if you're growing correctly with soil, let me clarify, but there's so much of a buffer in the soil naturally. And when you're feeding, let's just say you're doing a light mix where you have a heavier soil when you do that initial transplant, but then you're actually just feeding once a week and then all the other days you're watering with straight pH water, is I feel like there's something about that where you're constantly having this maneuver of a flush, you're constantly snacking, your plant gets to choose what it wants to actually uptake and at what times.
Sure.
You can manipulate like the EC or whatever, your ppm. Anyways, barely. Like you don't have a lot of control over that to be like precise with a lot of
So
things.
you flirt with like toxicity a little bit, like nitrogen toxicity and things like that.
Yes.
If you feed too much, because you're like new growers do this a lot. I think when they're like starting out and they think it's like a fish tank and I feel like they're fish. And I got my food and I'm gonna go water my plant. And I'm gonna make my little bucket and I'm gonna mix it up and feed it. It's like it should be. At least I was taught water, feed, water, feed. But
Exactly.
these guys are just like, I'm gonna feed because I'm gonna get bigger, better plants or something.
Yeah.
But really, you just kind of make your plants like toxic to too much of something. And if you get like, I see it a lot too in super dark green
Yeah.
leaves and people are growing, it's like, and they're proud of it. I'm not even talking shit. It's just like, check out my plant. It's a monster. It's a beast. It's huge. It's like, yeah, but the families are way too dark green. Like some of that can be genetic, but at the same time, it's just like, these are really dark green, almost black. And it's like, you are pumping nitrogen heavy, hard.
Yes, and then when they start to get that heavy look, like what you're talking about, when they get really green like that, they almost do look like strained, like to breathe.
Bush.
Yes, but I feel like with rock wool and salso, it's like you're really feeding that plant. You're controlling absolutely every part, but then at the same time, it has very little forgiveness with like an EC but then it does. It has a buffer with using your irrigation like we do is like runoff versus not having runoff and stacking your feed that way versus actually mixing a stronger
Sure.
or mixture.
I think it's like the difference of like turning the volume up on your radio or having like a sound equalizer.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, if you run a basic system, you just got volume control up, down. But if you really get technical and kind of like a rock wool drip system where you're basically playing God or whatever it is, like same thing as manipulating like the sound equalizer on something where it's like you want to add a little more bass. You want to take
Yes.
the treble down a little bit. Oh, that sounds a little bass heavy on this song, so let me take it down a little bit. It's like you read the music and you adjust your sound, just like you might read your plant and adjust your newts. But that would be a higher level sound person as opposed to a higher level grower as opposed to a person that's like, I know how to turn the volume up on my boombox and I put bass at full blast at all time, and that's how I like it.
I think that's the misconception with growing with salts is that they're like a steroid or like this really chemical, like crazy thing. But the truth is they're capsulated, so your plant can actually uptake them easier, and they are available immediately. But the thing is like that builds a lot of resilience as far as like pests and disease issues, which causes like a lot of detriment, obviously commercially, but then health wise as well that people don't identify as like a lot of soils and things like this are heavy with like arsenic, mercury, blah, blah, blah. But my point to this is I think that if people, for some reason, salts are marketed towards like a newer grower. Like what I've noticed is like we all start with like putting soil in a plant and watering a plant and seeing how that goes, I think. But then the deeper you get into it, or these companies start marketing to a certain audience, is like people are more open to trying these things. But then at the same time, it damages, I think, the reputation of what cultivation hydroponically is actually. They shouldn't taste, when people say that like weed grown with salts or something is gross or it doesn't taste as terpy. It's like that should never be a factor. Like you're smoking weed from not a very good hydro grower then. It's like that should never be actually a thing. But
which would likely happen to him if he was growing in soil too.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. And I think that if you really looked at it, like you said, with like an open perspective, is these plants need certain things, and how you choose to give them to them are very important, but how they get removed from the plant as far as terpenes and how you cure and how you actually are taking care of the plant in the finishing process in those last couple weeks, I think is like way more important than some of the things that we like dispute.
That's a whole other thing. I just went on a tangent about how nutrients can affect the way your cannabis tastes, but so can absolutely the after chop care. Like however you treat your plant from the moment you cut it. There's things where if it's fresh frozen, like you literally have to be fast as fuck.
Fast as fuck.
If it's going to be dried flower, like the moment that you cut it down and how you care for it from that point forward to the trim to the storage,
Yes.
like can dramatically affect your cannabis. And it's another thing where I feel like it's kind of like there's basic set in stone rules with this shit, but everybody has their little tips and tricks and secrets. And some people's tips and tricks and secrets are good, where other people's tips and tricks and secrets are just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, no.
You're right.
No.
Like a trick, honestly, that we use that people wouldn't know with like even fresh frozen is we prep our plants before harvest to be considerate in every way. Like as the gardeners, as the growers, you want to see your crop. You want to see it from the inside out. You want to see it. Anyways, I don't want a team coming in there and taking down my plants. I'm like super particular about this day. And I feel like a lot of growers have like lost touch with that commercially. But
You're definitely the only person I've ever met or ever worked with that is particular about cutting down their own plants. Like most people, myself included, I'm just like, all right, it's drop day, get them in here, let's get them going. It's like a team of people come in and they whack them down, they hang them up, they fucking defan them, whatever. Not necessarily in that order, but yeah. And then, get them up and get them hung. And it's like, I'm just happy to see the whole room kind of come together like quickly in a way. Like, all right, it's all up here and done. Whereas working with J-Lo, she's like, I grew these, I will kill these. And it's like an emotional experience every time. And I don't know, you actually are amazingly fast. It's like you almost don't want anyone to touch your plants. But that's
like
also
that.
made you like quick with it. But in a weird way, yeah, you'll cover a whole room in a day. Yeah, but I just think it's like most people are not like you.
That's so nice of you. But that's the funny part is I like go through and I cut the stalks like individually. Like Jason's helped me and like see me do it. It's like I'll cut and go through every single individual plant though and look for like fusarium, look for symptoms of HLVD. Like we run a really sterile and clean environment, but the thing is like we're very aware beyond even our testing is like that these things are really important. They're really important to me. They're really important to Jason. They're really important to like our integrity. And like, I feel like in the plants, like to me, there's a weird harvest thing that is strange to me is if you prep them before this time, your product does finish nicer. Like no matter what, it's like your waste is a lot less. Like obviously they wash a little bit cleaner. I think there's a lot of pros. Your team doesn't hate you after this is like bonus points. But I think, if you like, I think if you send that good energy of like carrying on what they give you, and you like send that, I feel like people feel it when they're smoking or some shit.
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, if people only knew, that was actually a podcast that I thought I would do one day. I was like, if people only knew what like their commercial cannabis actually goes through before it gets to the market, like everyone would like to, I don't even know if we want to let the cat out of the bag on this, but everyone would like to think that like their weed is like handled with the utmost care or something, but it's really much more like a package being thrown around through like UPS or something. Like you package your vase like super fragile and like wrap it in bubble wrap and you're like,
Good luck.
Put like a fragile sticker on the box, and you're like, they're gonna treat this with care. As you like drop it off at the post office, like set on the counter, super light. You're like, there it is, and they're just like, got it. Like grab it like a football, chuck it across the warehouse. Fucking, it's like that's sort of how your weed is handled. Not to mention it's going through some like other processes, generally through testing, through like
Ratting. Rat
That's
sourcing.
kind of what I was getting at. Is like basically it's also going to be like radiated for about 10 to 12 hours before it goes to the shelf. So like if we could do like a how it's made version on cannabis and just stick a GoPro on a pound that we're going to bring to market and watch it go down the chain and all the fucked up shit that actually kind of happens to it before it even comes back to us, and then we pre-pack it and then sell it. It's like, holy fuck. It's people don't know.
I think.
But the truth is you really shouldn't be afraid of it. Like the product is
It's
good,
true.
it's clean,
It is
it's
good.
good, it's whatever. But it's also
It goes
not
through
like
a lot.
you think of like some hippie like in a rocking chair, like gray beard, like trimming these buds up. Like this is gonna go. It's like Randy Marsh on South Park, like integrity. Like this is gonna go into my shop, and it's gonna be great flower or cannabis. It's like it's not like that at all. It's like a fucking weeds being shoved down like a rolling conveyor belt and rolling belts and like
It's true. The larger the scale, like it used to be something you flex on, and now it's like the opposite. It's
we're not
like,
far from like just straight brick again, but it'll be kind blood brick because it has the same value as swag. So people are just gonna they're not even gonna trim it. They're just gonna compress bales of this shit and be like, yeah, it's fire ass weed, like 32% fucking kosher, but since it has very little value, I compressed like whatever a ton of weed into a bale, and I'll take fucking $1,000 for it.
I mean, there is some companies that like really try harder than others, and there's some guys out there that put some love and tender care into it. I think, but I think that the truth is they're shrinking though. The numbers are shrinking, and I know everybody wants to grow fire, but
Well, the age-old adage is true. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And it's like, I don't know. If you didn't grow based on your product being in demand and successful, and you tried to buy into the market or bully into the market, you're falling apart right now. But if you grew because the demand of the actual market needed you to grow, then you're doing okay. You might not have the margins you once had, but you're doing okay. But everybody else that just tried to buy in or bully in, they're fucked. Or people that literally just had massive investors or hedge funds.
Got crazy.
And then they just built massive things thinking that they could do it by reducing the cost per pound to like almost nothing, and they'd win in the end. But they're not winning in the end because it's like I said, it's like they're ready to like compress, bale, bundle fucking cannabis and call it good and sell it for $1,000 a ton.
the thing is like people like assume things at a commercial scale that I think is incorrect when they're like, you can't do this at a commercial scale, and they justify like certain things, right? Like whether that be handling or whether that be products used, or I don't know. The list goes on and on.
But the most abused word in the industry right now is craft. And like everybody wants to say they're craft, but the truth is you can't fucking be craft unless you're craft.
Like a craft in a barn that shit eats out of.
So, meaning like, how many of these people have a 4-person operation or a 3-person
Yeah.
operation, actually hand trim their own weed and then put it in a jar and try to sell it? Like, fucking like 5?
I think
like
it's
4?
I think it's a
But yeah,
challenge.
ask how many people out here have craft cannabis written on their jar, or it's like, I don't know, 2,000.
Yeah, like everybody is. I think the challenge though is something that people are losing touch with. Is like, to me, moving up the ladder as far as knowledge or like operations goes or something like that. I don't know, like something like that. Like you're getting promoted, you're starting at the bottom, moving to the top. Something like that is, I think it's misled in weed because you shouldn't want to get like further and further away from the plant the higher and higher you go up. It's like, I understand if you've been doing this for 20 or 30 years, like, yeah, you have yourself a good old time. Like, hire the right person, or if you find the right fit, sure. It's just so far and few between that you see that system work, though. It's like, it really has to be the person that wants to be there and really produce something. I don't think hours within scale is like, I think every grower has like a weird rhythm and style. Some guys like come in and work like 16 hours straight and then want to take 2 days off. And I see it happen, and it's like a thing, and you're like, okay. And then other times it's like people will come in for a couple hours, but they're there 7 days a week, 365 days, and
Well, a weird thing I would say happening to kind of what you're saying. Your camera went out.
I'll see.
I'll fix it. But yeah, I'll just finish the thought real fast. Is that it used to be a bunch of people that came to the industry that were weed people, and they got replaced by a bunch of non-weed people that came from corporate sectors. Holy shit, that sounds weird.
And switch on me. It's
Okay.
better now.
And anyway, like now all those corporate people kind of are leaving, and it's back to the weed people are the ones surviving, for the most part,
Yes.
is what I would say. But I'll fix your camera. Sorry.
You know what? I bet these are messing up because of our dogs. The dogs are running around like crazy. No, I love that you say that. Is it? I don't know. I think there's pros and cons. Like this was awesome for, I think, progressing with having structure and trying to be taken seriously as a business. But when I think it's fucked up a little bit. My headphones are a little bit. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Sound guy. Thank you. It's better. It's just being finicky. You guys let me know.
I think definitely us that hears it bad.
Oh, really? Okay. I think that it's unfortunate, but I don't know. It's like I'm not really excited to say still to this day in Colorado that we do anything in cannabis around a certain crowd. And I feel like that was the goal, I think, of having corporate like cannabis and regulation, and obviously I think accessibility as well to obviously everyone that needs it or whatever. But I think it's just degraded the quality of weed, and we do talk about that, but I think it's almost like backfired to everybody in those ways.
Let me try that cart one more time.
You're gonna do it? That's probably why I can't talk anymore. Aaron Woodley, it's so good to see you. Do you want to go through the chat?
I want to go to the shower.
Weak sauce.
My day is over.
What?
I'm hitting this cart, and I'm signing off, and I'm saying goodbye. And everyone have a wonderful treat show. Thanks for letting me hijack at the beginning and then sit in.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Unasked. I just, force collabed it.
No, I loved it. I loved it. It was a good conversation. You guys let us know. I think, what do you think about the cart? You like it now, I think. Looks like. Oh, he's gonna. That thing gets ya. You guys don't understand. I think it'll swoop ya. Does it taste like more of a flavor? No. I actually like that about it, I think.
Tastes like Kim, kind of.
Do you remember that strain from Verde that was Kemi Jones? I wish we could get that. Have you guys ever smoked Kemi Jones or grown it? Would you like to take this? Alrighty then. I'll just put it. Yes. All right. Well, guys, I think we'll wrap this up soon. I'm so excited. I want to go through the chat though. Let's smoke the rest of this and check this out. Tark, come back. Is Michelle? No, Michelle, you can't leave us. Michelle, say good night. I feel like I'll tell him, Michelle. You're so sweet. Michelle's one of the people in my life that just makes you light up when I see her comments, when I see her name, when I feel her in my presence. Thank you, Michelle. Aaron Woodley, I hope your week is going awesome. 71 DP0O. Just kidding. I change it every time. I'm really sorry. DP710 is what I feel like. How are you doing? Corporate sponsors pushing free PGRs to growers along with the line of their newts with little to no education behind what they are doing to the plants is a big issue I've seen. this is why I always want you to come on the treat show too. is I love that you say that. Is I remember the reason I say this is I did start in 2009, and I did start when it's hard to even say medical because it was medical, but it was such a different system than what everybody's familiar with now and what it's grown into. But I think that watching it transition from medical though to recreational, not just with quality of product, and that goes both ways. There was also a lot of people that shouldn't have been operating, I'd say then either. But when I see some of these big brands, it always frustrates me when we go to like MJ BizCon and I just see like the louder the scene, or like I just don't even know, like the more like ridiculous and stuff that the company shows off or flexes is like supposed to be like the cool side of the company and like their branding and their marketing, which is definitely important and that's cool if you're representing a product most of all first, I think that you really believe in. And like when I see how these salt mixtures and things are being used, for instance, it's so hard not to say certain brands, but I'm just going to. So Dosatron and Athena work really closely together, right? And when you use Athena's salt mix or their pre-bottled nutrients, and I'm using them as an example because they're a limit, like they use as little of products as possible, I think, to still fulfill their line to be complete. So it's not out of like the price point for anybody. I'd say it's a pretty fair situation, but you still have to use different parts, right? For flour and for veg and for your clones and things like that. So when you're installing a Dosatron system, then you have to customize it per room, or I would say that's most common for commercial. They're marketing to a commercial side of things more than the home grower, even though they say that it's for the home grower. I would say I have a different thought. But so when you're using these Dosatrons, they're expensive. I feel like it's not that you can't use it at a house or in a garage or something like that, but how much of an expense are you going to put in? There's a lot of inline sumps or just different. There's so many pump options at so many different scales of price points that maybe this isn't, your dosing system is not that important for you. But if you're a commercial scale and you have to buy a dosing setup for each room, or you have to add more of these Dosatrons to be able to use this system customized for the week that the plants are at and all these different things, it becomes a very expensive thing to like use any of these nutrients, to use any nutrients, period. Organic is just a nightmare to run through irrigation, but I would say it's something you can definitely do. But I think versus the salt mix, treat salt mix is something that you can use in your clones and in your veg and in your flour, and you start to learn the actual salt line so that you can run a lower EC so that you actually do use less product instead of using more, and that you can use 3 or 4 Dosatron, depending if you're adding like hydrogen peroxide to this system. It pHs and doses itself. Like if you're mixing this salt mixture correctly, and depending on how your water is coming out, you would be surprised. This will bring itself down to what you're looking for automatically. So you don't have to use like a dosing, like pH down necessarily. You can, but anyways, you can swing 4 to 5 Dosatrons if you're using this treat mix, and you're, like I said, using a lot less product. And when I see these guys running ECs that are extremely high though, it's not that you can't run a hot EC, but your plant has to be large enough to run a really hot EC. You can run a 3, let's just say, on a plant that I would just recommend is 5 foot like 5 foot tall or larger. And I would say pot size is you'd probably want a pretty large pot, 7 to 10 gallons, I would say, on the smaller end if you have a mom or something that you're doing this with, or I guess a bigger flowering plant. But is the EC that we use is 1.4 to 1.6, and you really, though, it's not that you can't change that. It's like you want to be able to manipulate with water, right? More than manipulating your mixture. I think it's important to know that you should be giving your plant everything it needs all the time consistently, and there shouldn't be these dramatic changes or dramatic needs. It's like monopotassium phosphate is very important in flower for most things that bloom, and calcium nitrate, things like that are really important in both, right? But I think that when you're using really high quality sourced salts, I think that they're all derived from organic matter. They're just synthesized, encapsulated, so that storage and like uptake, like I said. But you can honestly flush these things out so fast. You can increase them as you need and as the plant needs. Some of these guys, it just makes me think that everybody's like attacking this like group of people and miseducating each other in these weird ways where it's like, I'm all for marketing and selling your products, but like explain why these things. Athena probably does that as a buffer so that you can be actually forgiven if you mix something a little too hot, or they're probably basically making a diluted version of salts. And I think that could be really beneficial in a staffing like situation where you do have to trust somebody can like catch on to a system, I guess, or that is forgiving. I don't know. There's pros and cons to all of these things. But sorry for this rant. This is what happens. I've ate edibles and smoked backwoods in this hash pen. I doing good, Dan. How are you doing? You right on that, Jason. The cure is the absolute most important part, taste-wise. Mess that up and all the work was for nothing. That's exactly, I don't think it gets talked about enough. I think we should talk about it. We should talk about it more. We should do a show on it. Azomite will for sure make things have a sweeter taste. Does the same for weed as it does for tomatoes. Oh, see? Howdy, J-Lo and brother Jason. Good to see you all. So good to see you doing good, Dan. Rotten skateboards, proper blunt. Thank you. I wish you were smoking with us. Tark, it's a valid question. I just started going organic like 2 years ago, and there's a big difference between organic and new mill. I mean, they're both fire, but they are different. I so agree, Tark. I really do. And I think it's strange to me how, just like you guys are saying, like these cure, there's so much that goes into the finishing of weed in those finishing last weeks where everybody puts so much into the beginning 3 weeks, which is definitely important. The whole process is important. But the finishing 2 to 3 weeks, it seems like, is very strange. It's like salts especially is like you have to flush in a really unique way, I think, to not actually kill your plant and have everything properly removed from your plant. To not get that like harshness or things like that. But sometimes the harshness actually does come from somebody incorrectly curing it. Like just, you would be surprised, I think. But yeah, we do full plant cures. It's something that I've always done. It's really important. And I think the way that you break them down and the way that you're rotating and flipping your product, a lot of people put, I don't want to say too much emphasis on where you live geographically for like these spaces is ultimately, no matter where you live, we're going to have to manipulate this space, right? And to some degree, I understand that there's going to be obstacles of humidity and chilly versus hot. I get that. But I'm saying we're manipulating everything else that we're typically growing indoors with. And so I think it's very possible to dial this in. And I would like to show some tricks and things sometime and get your guys' opinions. I know Jason would love if we did an actual Dark Horse video of explaining this, and he could explain it or we could explain it, and it would be awesome. Tark, I just like that you say that though. I think people judge the wrong things. Sometimes obstacles come up too for every grower, and sometimes they're exceptional growers and like maybe we just picked up the wrong batch or something like that. And honestly, the pest and disease thing, it goes it just gets skipped over sometimes in the wrong ways. Is if you have russet mites and you have no idea, is your terpenes, your trichomes, like everything is going to be overall affected by russets. And it's really hard for, I think, most people to detect with like their naked eye or in those early stages before the damage will really start showing or they'll start showing. I don't like more clearly, I guess, is I think that there's a lot that goes into it that sometimes it's just interesting. What do you guys think? Bring the new Mills guys on and ask them. Thank you, Tark. I think it's a great idea, honestly. I'm pretty confident I could get a hold of those guys. I did work with them a few years back, and when I was working with Way to Grow, that's the reason that this cool like plug happened. Otherwise, probably not. But I think it would be interesting to hear. Usually, the things I don't like, I want to like, and I'm not saying I don't like that. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. But the things that I'm in question of, or the things like, yeah, it's just nice to actually get clarification and see where they're coming from and where maybe this is just an incorrect timing, or if they had bugs, like, sorry, that's where I was going with this, and the plants aren't flushing correctly. They have like root aphids, if they have spider mites sometimes, if something's causing dudding, like just like they're not uptaking, they're not going to remove it well either. So I wonder. Peter, it really is so good to see you. I think your profile picture is awesome. Ryan Skateboards, gosh, you are so nice. I run New Mill. Been running it for 4 to 5 years. Love, and it works good with my schedule. That's what Tark. I know that we read that one earlier, but that is important because I'm not trying to bash. Guerrero Grows, it's so good to see you too. Smoke Sensei, Tide Terps. You probably do know. It's interesting. Gerhardt, why don't they just sell the oil? We could use it on our old vaping rigs. It's very true. Fal Bundy, always so nice. It's just, I love Fal Bundy's little respect thing. It makes you just put a pep in your step too. I see that you support your squad, and thank you. We support you too, Fal Bundy. I'm at the lake. Guerrero Grows, you lucky duck. Speaking the truth, best is in the quarter grammars. Yes, half gram. Yes, I think Jason is absolutely right though. I think that it's frustrating. I think if they designed something that almost had a really, really teeny gap, it'd have to be really small, but big enough that you could have like a lot of little needle-sized holes where it could pull through a little bit more clearly. And if you did keep them like shorties that you changed out like all the time, like maybe you could buy more than that, but you just like click on so that you could only get like a couple hits off of it. Because I think it's the temperature thing of those plates. I think any pen is going to this is going to be a weird gamble, but you're probably going to be, there's a limitation to batteries and like how much you can really sell, I think, is what the manufacturer for reals is like. Maybe there's better pens out there that cost a couple $100s, but how many people are going to do that every time or on the go? Anyways, so I think just a few modifications. I also think that they should start making freaking cool designs. I love their pen, but everybody has like these carts, like fill, obviously like in a tube or something. And I'm like, why aren't they putting these into like freaking cool, like henna tattoos? Not henna tattoos, but you know, something freaking. Anyways, Kim Painter. Oh, how I miss you. I've been thinking about calling you every single day, but it has been crazy. Michelle Barnhill, we are getting the weather off of Debbie. Oh, goodness. Let's check this out. BH, no. 710 GPU. Love it. Love it. Michelle, yikes. I would melt. Nasty. Oh, hello, Michelle. Doing great. I just want the heat to break. I think it was 117. Oh, Kim Painter's out in Arizona just roasting. Arizona Grows, where are you at? I feel like, I bet you guys are tanner than me, though. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Ridiculous. jealous. I love that Kim Painter and Michelle are squad. Well, Michelle's everybody's squad. Same with Kim Painter, but I love the ladies' love over here. Last few days have been sweet. Gerhardt, that's what I like to hear. We got a little rain this afternoon. It's cool. Like 5 minutes of it. We have all these fires. I gotta send love to everybody going through that. They're actually close to where I used to live, both of them. And it's really sad. But I think that we just gotta send them love. More rain. More rain. You ever get that triple threat IPM package together, JLo? Thank you, 710. DP. So it's so cool that you said that. I'm working on some things right now. And I'm hoping for reals to have it actually drop all of these things for the holidays. Thank you for encouraging me, though. Because I think you guys might like it. You might not, but I think you might like it. But I am going to do the screen. You're absolutely right. Sorry. I don't know if that's what you were referring to. I was going to do that show today, but again, had some obstacles. Been cloning. Been doing... It doesn't matter. Just all the things. Ours just broke 3 days ago. Oh, Gerhardt, whatever broke, let's find this. Sounds awful. Hey, Gerhardt, is everyone suffering in heat like we are in AZ? I'm so done. Oh, you're giggly tonight, Jay. Yeah, I don't know. Dude, whenever I eat edibles, I don't know what it is. I've just been like perky all day. Just walking around just on sunshine, but not. Probably just been stoned pretty good in a long time. I can see why these gummies. I like these ones. I think, let me show you guys these. I'm gonna eat another one. Okay, they're only 10s. Okay, but I did try one before. I tried to peer pressure Jason. These fucking things are hard. Oh my gosh. It's okay, guys. I'll get it. With a direct focus and a positive attitude. They really are safe, you know? Their mission has been accomplished. Sometimes I think about the limitations with compliance with our packaging. How much more cool, I'm just saying, everybody's packaging if we could do clear packaging for starters. Holy shit, I'm really not going to be able to open it. How did I get it open earlier? Hold on, guys. I got to use my extra strength. I'm going to give up in 5 seconds. Yeah, got it. Jesus. All right. Check these ones out. So I'll show you the little coin package in there, basically. Can you guys see? Yes. These are pretty big, too. I think it's like, you know, I'll eat one after this time. You guys remember what happened last time. But you can see it's like a pretty good little, oh gosh. Yeah, pretty good little coin bag is what it looks like to me. They have a good consistency, though. Some of them are just, like, really jelly. It's not that they taste like weed, but they're just, like, really jelly. Gotta be ready to brush your teeth. Dark, I hope that you are actually having a fantastic freaking week. I'm so excited that you made the show, even with this delay. I was thinking about your remodel and how I was so inspired by you. I was like, you guys should see Tark and his skill. I'm about to plant the Turkish tobacco. That's what Peter, I'm sorry. That one was just very awesome. I want it. Let's go to the top, guys. Treats back, baby. Arizona grows. So glad you're back. Thank you. Oh. This supersized the video screen. Oh, these are awesome. Cody Rose, thank you so much for coming in tonight. Let's grow. Gosh, 710. DP. Smoke Sensei. Bruce Banner is still around. Yeah, gosh. I've had a nightmare with those. I'm not even going to talk about it right now. But I'm going to have Bruce Banner clones for sale in probably 6 weeks. It's just, I have to make sure that they're ready to go. Had to do some change. I'm telling you, going on vacation is like a gamble sometimes. We won't go into the shit, but it's just like a gamble. Sometimes you just win, sometimes you lose. But we got the BB3 and the BB5. Jason's obviously of his favorite cut ever, though. So even those that think that they have the Bruce, that I don't know, it's like I'm saying that his cut really stands out to me. The BB5 is honestly sick too. I feel like it doesn't get enough attention that it should. Like everybody should be growing this shit, especially in the wintertime. I'm just saying as far as the stack and like, sorry, just get excited with certain things. You would love the flavor though. I really think so. If you're more into that like Chemi OG, almost even like a diesel finish. I know Jason would probably maybe not think this, but maybe he would. I don't know. It really is like loud with that. The Bruce Banner number 3, I don't think he picks up a lot of sweet in it, but sometimes it tastes sweet on the exhale to me. And I really like it though. And the way it grows is just really, she's pretty. She's like aesthetically really pretty. But the BB5 gets heavier, I think. If that's what you're into. Joy Spiral, Dark Horse Genetics. That's so cool, Joy. I love seeing you. Let's see. I love it. Well, we have reached the top. Thank you guys so much for showing up tonight. I hope that you have the most beautiful week ahead of you. And if you can, just like and subscribe if you're feeling up to it. And peace and love.